Hello everyone, I'm Joe from WhatCulture.com and welcome to the RAW Pre-Show Podcast. I am joined by a man that is Adam Blampied.
Hello, I'm a man.
And I am joined by a man that is not Jack the Jobber.
Hello.
I am joined by Adam Pacitti. Jack is not in with us today, so...
Jack's on his little holiday, his little hollybobs.
Rejoice!
So for all of those that were so keen to see that young man, I'm not sorry.
You're going to be covering for Jack on the live stream.
Double duty again. You've got me tonight, you got me tomorrow, and then I'm off on holiday.
What dedication. What
dedication. Sweetie with Adam Pacitti.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to have a little time tonight, aren't we?
We are. I've got a lot in store.
Well, it's going to be an interesting Raw, isn't it? Because it's the go-home one before Survivor Series.
Go home Raw for Survivor Series, yes.
Which I didn't realise was 6 pissing hours long. I know they'd upped it to 4 hours, but I didn't realise they'd made the pre-show hours.
Pre-shows are 2 hours as well, isn't it?
For God's sake.
Painful. You think they'd learn?
It killed SummerSlam.
It did. It really did.
We were there. We were tired.
If WWE do watch us, please don't do this to the Royal Rumble. I love the Rumble.
They're watching.
They
Joe.
will.
Vince is
They
tuning.
will.
Yay!
Vinny. They're doing it in the Alamo Dome, right?
The Alamo Dome, San Antonio.
So it's going to be 60,000 people. It's going to be 4 hours, isn't it?
Yeah, it's going to be with an 80-minute Royal Rumble.
So we got Raw, SmackDown, NXT,
and Survivor Series,
and NXT Takeover.
Yay! All of the WWE
week.
television.
And you're going on holiday.
You've timed that well, Adam.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, let's talk about what's happening on Raw this week. The main storyline going into it is that both Goldberg and Brock Lesnar are advertised for this week's Raw. Do we expect to see any shenanigans between the Beast and a man not known as Goldberg?
I tell you what I expect. I expect Brock Lesnar to kill Shane McMahon again, and for James Ellsworth to replace Shane on his team at the last possible moment.
You'd think so. Lots of people are speculating on an Ellsworth heel turn. I'm taking this to SmackDown already. Done it. Give me 2 minutes. Done it already.
King was up for cheese. SmackDown live. That's what I see happening. Maybe are they going to do the pull-apart brawl? Because they did that with Brock and Undertaker, and it feels like it was a bit too soon.
Is it a contract signing tonight?
I think
It hasn't been advertised as a contract
I think
signing.
it's just face to face.
It hasn't even been advertised as face to face. They're just both announced for the event. But you would think something would happen.
I mean,
between the
Goldberg's
two.
taken out Paul Heyman.
Right.
I'd quite like to see Goldberg
Take out Brock.
eat an F5.
That'd be
Going into it.
If Brock takes out Goldberg's son. You
That would
take
be
someone
amusing.
I love.
Well, someone that pays me at least.
I think Goldberg eating an F5 would be good, but he's going to lose, isn't he? So you
would think. Well, I think
Yeah,
so,
but I mean, throw the smarks off.
You could do.
Could do. Could do.
It's one for it's not for casual fans, really. This is it.
What, Goldberg versus Lesnar?
Well, it's
exactly for casual fans.
It's for older fans,
Yeah.
though, right? It's for people who've been watching for a long time. So I'm not sure you can call them.
Well, it's tricky because they're selling the game, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I guess so.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
Question, just a quick one. Does this match deserve to be the main event of Survivor Series? Because it's going to be, which sucks. But does it deserve it?
The title isn't on the line, and there haven't really been any stakes added to Survivor Series, despite what the rumours were. So
Yeah, I think it does this time.
there's none of the belts apart from the Intercontinental and the Cruiserweight are on the line.
Yeah.
And they're not going to main event. And if you main event Raw you could do Raw versus SmackDown as the main event, but you need something to be on the line, and so far nothing's on the line for it. So at the moment, Lesnar versus Goldberg feels like it should close.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Moving on to another two men that are also going to show up on Raw tonight. That is SmackDown Commissioner and General Manager Shane McMahon and Daniel Bryan. They have been invited to Raw by Stephanie.
Shane's going to die.
How is Shane going to, hopefully not die, but suffer a fate?
Brock Lesnar's
Maybe worse than death.
Brock Lesnar's going to turn up and he's going to be super pissed off. Heyman's not there to control him. I think he's going to kill Shane. I think so.
Do we think this plants the seed? There's been rumours going around on the internet that Shane McMahon versus Brock Lesnar is in the works for WrestleMania 33. A 39-year-old, 300-pound monster versus a 47-year-old man that has wrestled once in 8 years.
I mean, that's the match that's rumoured for WrestleMania, isn't it? So,
Murder,
if you're going to do it...
Sweet murder.
This comes from Meltzer as well. This isn't...
Yeah.
In fact, this is
I think
reputable sources.
I think Shane might be going off the stage today. Actually, the stage isn't that
Today?
high anymore, is it?
No,
Not Sunday.
Pun?
Not Sunday.
no, I don't think it
I
happens
think
on
today.
Sunday.
I honestly think
It's a big thing for Raw. That's gonna.
I think Ellsworth will be put into SmackDown. I really
That makes
do.
sense. He's a draw.
Yeah, I mean,
actually is.
He's something. Probably more so than Shane. I don't know, but it's if you had like the proper high stage, like going through a stack of tables would have been great. Like Lesnar just throws him, like Shane would do it.
Maybe Daniel Bryan's going to eat a Mr. Socko, and Shane will eat a pedigree courtesy of her Lady McMahon.
Oh God. Are they? So they're going to be sharing the ring at the same time, right? They're doing state of the WWE addresses.
Are they?
Not on Raw. Immediately after on the network, they're doing state of WWE addresses.
Oh, so something big is happening.
Yeah.
Surely.
So something. Yeah.
Somebody's being taken out. State of WWE. Yeah. Shane's being taken out now.
Or they are going to introduce serious stakes for Survivor Series on this Raw.
Do we think it's going to be the 3-man, 3-woman swap
Yeah.
that's been rumoured?
I mean, the Cruiserweights is already
It
being
doesn't
going
really
to be
warrant
swapped.
a state of WWE address.
No.
That stake. That's stipulation. I think somebody is gonna get mauled tonight. I'm quite looking forward to it now.
Yeah, I'm looking forward
this
to
is
it.
a good one to see it for. Cheers, Jack.
Let's move on to the 3 Survivor Series matches. We'll look at the men's Survivor Series match first. Last week, Owens accidentally pinned Chris Jericho in the main event in the Fatal
Are you
5-Way.
suggesting it wasn't an accident, Joe? Is that what you're suggesting? You're suggesting the Best Friends League is not long for this world?
I
Super Best Friends.
somehow don't think...
Chris and Kevin, the Chris and Kevin show.
I don't think they'll survive past Survivor Series, ironically enough.
Well, Jericho's going to be face in Toronto, isn't he? Unless he cuts a pre-match promo. But he's going to be, like... If he turns on Owens there...
It's a smarky crowd. He's getting cheered all night. It doesn't
But
matter
Owens
what
is
he
Canadian
says.
as well, doesn't he? So surely Owens
Oh,
will-
shit.
They're
Oh,
both
yeah, I
getting
keep forgetting
cheered.
they're both Canadian.
getting cheered.
It's going to be interesting to see what happens. Obviously, the team are still very dysfunctional, to say the very least.
It's
They're
not a
not
bad
on the
thing.
same page.
It's not a bad thing. Owens, as champion, should be on his own by this point. When you've got somebody as over as Chris Jericho is, it's not beneficial to your new champion, somebody who hasn't held the belt before, to have that attention being drawn away from
The list is overshadowing the championship.
Does it turn happen tonight or Sunday?
I think it should. If Raw lose, which I think they will, I think Owens should do the power bomb to the apron on Jericho.
On Jericho. I think that's a good idea.
I think
It would make sense.
I think it might come down to the Best Friends versus AJ and Ambrose.
AJ and Ellsworth.
Or
if
AJ and
gets
Ellsworth
in.
would be fun.
As much as I don't want to see that, it would be marketable. It would
Yeah.
set a scene. So we will see what happens. Looking at the other 2 matches, both Raw captains ate pinfalls last week. Charlotte was pinned by Bayley, and the New Day were pinned by the Club. Does this mean the captains will take pinfalls or defeats on Sunday? Do you think?
I don't think Charlotte's taking a pinfall on Sunday. I
Not
think
on a pay-per-view.
no, they've got this streak
true.
thing going.
Yeah, and they are marketing that now as well.
Yes, they are.
They're mentioning it. That's not ending anytime soon.
Even though she
Charlotte's.
did lose in a tag team match with Dana Brooke, but I guess single. Yeah,
She hasn't taken a pinfall.
Yeah, she hasn't taken a pinfall loss on a pay-per-view, and I don't think that's happening. I mean, it's possible that she might be eliminated by count out, but I think the Raw Women's is a stronger division right now. It feels like feels bigger at least. Maybe not.
Would it make sense if Charlotte was the sole survivor on Sunday?
Wouldn't be anti. I think that's a hell of a selling point for Charlotte.
I think maybe it could be Charlotte and Bayley if they want to set up Charlotte versus Bayley. They
potentially.
like the whole opponents having to get along thing.
And of course, the tag team side of things.
Tag teams, like you, I mean, SmackDown's tag team division, it feels like it's being run better.
Yeah.
But like when you compare Heath Slater and Rhino, Breezango, to guys like the New Day, Enzo and Cass, even the Club, the Raw tag team division, it does feel a bit bigger, a bit more official. What's the rest of the SmackDown teams? It's
American
Breezango.
Alpha.
American Alpha, to be fair.
The Usos.
And the Usos sort of, Okay, so yeah, it's a fair enough. You can imagine SmackDown winning that. with American Alpha.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'd hope so, but they haven't been doing great things with American Alpha. I'd really like to see American Alpha clean up and eliminate
Soul
2 or 3
Survivors.
teams. Not necessarily Soul Survivors.
I
don't
the
think
Soul-
they should necessarily take out the New Day.
I think the
Breezango,
Soul Survivors
Soul
should.
Survivors?
Yes, Breezango as Soul Survivors.
Of
Yeah.
course.
Money's
Why
down
do you
there.
torture my mind, guys? Why do you torture my mind? I think it
I
should
like
be the club.
Breezango.
I think it should be
I
the
do.
club. I think they got a good victory on Monday last week in Glasgow. I don't know what they're going to have planned this week, but I think a Soul Survivor victory on Sunday pushes them towards the tag team titles that they will inevitably take when the demolition record is surpassed by the New Day.
Yeah, I guess. I think they could do with it. I do think I think it's obviously going to be one apiece in
Yeah.
terms of Survivor Series things, and I think if Raw's going to lose one, it's probably going to be the tag team one, just because. Yeah, I think American Alpha.
Yeah.
Could do a build.
I don't think the club are taking it from the New Day.
Who do you think is taking it from the New Day, Adam Pacitti?
I'm not sure. I just don't think it's the.
No, who's doing it? Definitely. Who's doing it?
Definitely.
Your prediction right now.
No, I'm not doing my prediction.
No,
We'll do that later.
put money
We'll do
on.
that
What's your
later.
prediction?
Put money on. I'll tell you after Raw. But they don't. They don't see the potential that a lot of the fans see in the club, and that's clear. Like we thought coming out of the last pay-per-view that we were gonna see like after the win and everything, and then the next night it was 50-50 booking, pumpkin on the head.
It's weird
It's
that
silly.
the crowd hasn't responded to the whole fake doctors, testicle juice, old day, pumpkin
It's
on the head
gold
stuff.
as well. It's
I
gold.
can't believe
that's
that.
the foundation of wrestling.
Yeah, exactly.
If you
Lou
don't
Thez,
get that,
one of
why
your
are you
one of your
watching?
top 10 favourites.
Lou Thez, honestly, his doctor gimmick with a pumpkin on his head and the piss. Oh, it's
Dr. Pumpkin, the
Dr. Pumpkin.
multiple-time AWA champion.
Looking at another 2 interpromotional matches where titles are on the line.
Oh yes.
We have that could contribute towards the stakes if they are indeed introduced. We have the Intercontinental Championship. Dolph Ziggler will take on Sami Zayn. That's got potential to be match of the night. Sure.
Yeah. Sorry for swearing, but someone's going to have to edit that.
Dope.
Is it you? It's you, isn't it? Thanks, pal.
every week.
Every week. To be fair, I'm assisting you with this one, so
Yeah,
you're
you
not
are.
on your own. Thanks, Blampied.
So I think Sami Zayn and Dolph Ziggler could have the match tonight. I think if Cruiserweights are going to SmackDown, which it feels like they should because of 205 Live.
Yeah, makes sense. If it's recorded on the
happening.
same night.
It is happening. Of course, like it's such an unusual stipulation to add.
Kalisto beating Brian Kendrick.
It gives Kalisto something to do, though. I mean,
Yeah.
the booking with Kalisto, ever since he lost the US title, has been piss, really.
Has this been their plan the whole time though? Because everyone was wondered, why is Kalisto on SmackDown?
Absolutely.
Is this the only?
No, of course not.
No, because they saw him as a big enough draw to like, especially for the house shows to get the kids in.
So did you?
And it didn't work.
He's your favourite, right?
He is my favourite wrestler of all time, over Bret Hart, over Kurt Angle,
Over Lou Thez.
Over Lou
Over Lou
Thez.
Thez.
Over Ric Flair.
Stan Stasiak. All the big ones.
Are you predicting 2 title changes?
Yeah. Yes. I think if you've got the Cruiserweights and the WWE, but IC and US on the same show.
But
Maybe
if
not.
the
Maybe
stakes,
not.
if the stakes are introduced and Sami Zayn takes it
Strowman.
back to Raw, and then it goes back
They'll
over.
put the strap on Strowman after like a month.
God, they could do, you know.
That'd be nice for him. He's improving greatly.
Yes.
Yeah, and like the matchup with him and Zayn is great, and I don't want to see Zayn leave that just yet. But getting him away from Owens so they could eventually come back together, I think.
I'd love to see the strap on on Zayn for a while actually, but they won't. They'll put it on. Who knows? Wrestling.
Surely it's going to be Finn when Finn comes back.
The IC
What, for the
title.
IC?
Oh, the IC title. I thought you'd.
No. I think they'll transfer the IC over to Raw, and then Braun will take it after a month because they're just keen to push Braun. What do you think Braun's involvement is going to be in the Survivor Series?
A
match?
face-off with Bray,
Yeah.
followed by potential RKO out of nowhere that everyone predicts from all.
He's not eating a pin. I really don't think.
I don't think he's
everyone
eating a
has a
pin, but I would. It would be
DQ.
nice to see Strowman kick out of the RKO, and by kick out I mean throw Orton 85 feet in the air following
nice.
a pinfall.
I think either they're going to do the Big Show thing where everyone hits him with a finisher and he's pinned, or they're going to do the Rusev thing at 2014 where he gets put through the announce table and just can't quite get back into the ring. Still ends up looking... Or he just gets disqualified for killing Michael Cole or something.
Or James Ellsworth.
Yeah, maybe.
I wouldn't argue.
That's the face-off I want to see. Braun
Sweet
Strowman
bloody
versus
murder
James Ellsworth.
between James Ellsworth and Braun Strowman. I'm a fan of sweet bloody murder today. I'm sorry, guys. I just really want to see someone get hurt. James Ellsworth.
A bit like Sam, really, aren't you? And you've got tattoos. You're all wrong-uns. And I think James Ellsworth versus Strowman, like, that's what brought, like, he was Strowman's first jobber, Ellsworth's first appearance. Like, them coming back.
Clash of the Times.
It's big. It's big. I want to see it so bad. I swore again. That's how much I want to see it.
And I'm gonna
no, just go for it, mate, because you're gonna have to edit it.
I'm gonna quickly mention this. I don't have to ask the same question that I've asked 4 weeks in a row, but Noam Dar finally showed up.
He did,
and he looked great.
Best part about last week's Raw, which I thought was a bit of a Raw, not for the crowd. The crowd was good, but just it was all talk.
If you haven't seen the live stream on WhatCulture Extra with Jack and Adam from last week, I watched it last night and they looked like they were having a bad time.
It was a bad time.
I was in the office.
Okay.
But I applaud you for the subtle Avenue Q reference.
Thank you. I can't remember what I said. What do you do with a BA in English?
What do you do with a BA in English,
That's
Jack?
what
Do we think that maybe there's some more development potential for Noam following last week's?
I think they'd be keen to experiment as to whether or not he's over in front of a crowd that isn't Glasgow. I mean, they brought him out last week and the crowd went mental for him. It would make no sense for them to miss him off this week's Raw, because even if they don't have that connection that Glasgow had with him, fans last week saw a huge reaction for this guy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So that might still kind of transpose onto the next this Raw, and they want to get him. They don't want to put him in a tag team match, I don't think, and I don't think they want to put him on the heel side of a tag team match like they did last week.
Which makes no sense.
And they probably want to have him win, unlike last week, even though he did lay out Kendrick, which was pretty cool.
Yeah. Kendrick, I'm not sure how they're treating him in Kendrick booking, because ever since he's won the title, he had the match with Perkins, the rematch, which I believe went to a non-finish. Got pinned by Swan last week.
Correct.
And then got taken out by Dar. You're not making the supposed best cruiserweight in the world look very strong.
You are not.
And it's the problem that they had with TJ.
Is that an indication of where the title is going and the cruiserweight division is going?
I mean, they pinned Kendrick before he won the title.
Yeah.
And it's to see how it goes tonight. If Kendrick ends up looking strong, it's probably going to SmackDown.
Yeah. It's going to SmackDown. It's going to SmackDown. Aren't you glad they held off on the Dar debut, by the way? We're all whinging about it.
I know, we do complain.
They knew what they were doing.
They placed it perfectly.
Yeah, it was great.
Great crowd, great support. Pyro for Noam.
Indeed.
And Noam looked like $1 million coming out of Raw, which is fantastic for our boy. Right, we're going to move on to some Twitter questions. As always, thank you very much for getting them in. First off, we have Harvey Hinkler, who asks, will Rusev have anything to do on Survivor Series? Because he's got nothing at the moment.
Poor guy. After a great showing at Hell in a Cell. I mean, they've only got 6 matches on 4 hours.
Yeah, that's painful.
So, I mean, I think each of the 5-on-5s is going to probably last a while. Yep. So they're probably only going to add 1 or 2 more matches, but he can do with
He got a 2-hour pre-show. They'll stick him on the pre-show somewhere, give him...
Probably.
Who do you do? I don't even...
Before we quickly move on to another question, what do you think of the rumoured Rusev face turn?
The crowd is starting to get behind him very organically anyway, so I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing. He's funny, isn't he?
He is funny. The Papa Rusev stuff was really great. I could see that happening. Who would he fight? Who's left of the upper mid card?
Take on both Shining
Neville?
Stars. No, don't squash Neville again. Doesn't need to be a squash.
It doesn't. You can't have the Shining Stars either because they're in the tag match.
Yes, they are.
Oh, that's right. The Shining Stars.
Because I called it last week. It was going to be Golden Truth versus the Shining Stars.
Good match, that. Glad I watched that.
Yay.
2:30 in the morning. I keep swearing. I'm so sorry, boys.
This is how frustrating Raw was last week. it's bad.
Thank you for excusing my just me being an arsehole.
You are welcome, but please stop swearing.
I will stop swearing.
I do not want Pacitti to kill me with all this work. Your WWE official, very weird one. What has been the best pay-per-view of the year so far?
I like Backlash, but
Yeah,
that's
I
because
was
I
gonna
was
say-
expecting Backlash to be bad.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Backlash was probably the greatest one. Extreme Rules was good fun.
Extreme.
Payback.
Yeah, Hell in a Cell was really good.
Yeah, I enjoyed Hell in a Cell.
Yeah.
a lot.
For all that it's worth, I wasn't like overly disappointed with No Mercy, but I think the booking of the matches and the order of the matches was a little bit shambolic with the presidential debate.
How mad that none of us go to any of so far the big four.
Nah.
None of us are going to say WrestleMania. None of us are going to say
That's
Rumble. None of us are going to say SummerSlam.
No.
Shame.
It's a bit of a shame, isn't it?
It
So
is.
Survivor, in terms of the big four pay-per-views, at least Survivor Series has got a lot to do
They can do it.
this Sunday. So we will see what happens. Broken Headbanger asks, "Hey guys, who has the best work rate and the best spots, I should say?"
No, read it word for word. Hey blokes, what flippy do has the best work rate and most brilliant spots? PS fish and chips. #pushfin. Smarkiest of the smarky bastards.
What's Fish and Chips? Is that a
What
reference?
flippy do has the best? It's just British. We're British.
Oh, we're British.
Yeah, remember?
Nice. Wanker.
Anyway, so we can rephrase it. Who has the best work rate?
We've all got really calf.
Rollins?
It's not. Is he a flippy do? It's what he wants. Is he asking for
Is
the guy in the
Rollins a flippy
cruiserweight
do?
division?
Styles, then, I guess.
Yeah.
He's slightly flippery doobly.
If he's asking for in the cruiserweight division,
Which flippy do?
for me it's Perkins.
Work rate.
Kendrick. Actually.
Kendrick. In terms of telling a story and also pulling off some snazzy matazzy, as this guy would say.
He would.
You're
Run
a
short on
very
time,
sure.
Joe. Let's do it.
Ian Boyer asks if you could change one thing about Raw.
2
what would it
hours.
be?
2 hours.
Easy up on the scripting would be mine, and then 2 hours.
Yeah, I think I'm leaning more towards the 2 hour side of things. I think. Don't touch me, Adam. I just feel like a 3 hour Raw drags,
It really does.
Kills by hour 2. By the end of hour 2, you just want to wrap up and go to bed.
Yep.
And I could see that in your faces last week. Even on a pre-recorded Raw,
That's right.
you just wanted to sleep.
I mean, you're going from SmackDown last week. Oh, you didn't do it last week, did you? Because we
No,
had
I was away.
WCW.
No,
So
we're
you're
in
going
London.
from SmackDown to Raw. Going from that to Raw is going to be hard.
I've had to do it a few times. It's miserable. 4 in the morning.
Ashley Smith asks, what matches would we add to Survivor Series to bulk it out? We mentioned getting Rusev in
Get
in
Rusev on
some
the card.
capacity.
I'd like a singles cruiserweight match. That's what I'd like.
There's just not much point if it's going, is it? Is there? Why push a singles match when it's just going to jump ship to SmackDown?
There's something, because if I don't know if you guys have seen what happened at Evolve last night, but William Regal offered Tony Nese a full-time WWE contract.
Great.
Last
Tony
night.
Nese is brilliant.
Yeah.
So you could maybe get Tony Nese on the show somehow. I like the idea of a singles cruiserweight match. I don't think I would have any more interpromotional matches.
No.
If the stakes are introduced, then you've got 5 interpromotional matches, and you can build a good split.
I think they're building up Rich Swann. He's picked up a couple of wins recently. And I think him having a really good 10-minute on the pre-show, 10, 15 minutes maybe, if it got 2 hours to fill, him going like 12 minutes with Tony Nese, I think could do something brilliant. Maybe. But like in terms of other matches, I can't think of anything else I really want to see.
No.
That's just not the guys free. With everyone being booked for Survivor Series matches.
I mean, obviously you could get the Golden Truth on the show because they're not in the
I'd
5-on-5.
quite like to see Nakamura versus Triple H on the pre-show.
Yeah.
'Cause I think those two have got a lot of potential.
Sponsored by Mountain Dew.
Speaking of Nakamura, Nelson Reyes asks, will we ever see Nakamura versus Brock Lesnar in the WWE, and would they book Nakamura to go over?
Yes,
Unlike they
yes.
did in New Japan a few years ago.
That's right. I agree with Pacitti. Yes and yes.
I'd like to think so. It's either Nakamura, it's Reigns, or it's possibly Joe, but I'd lean towards Nakamura.
Not siding with Owens?
No.
Being the one that ends the Lesnar streak?
He's the one that wants that match they don't want. That is my understanding.
We shall see what happens. Matthew Fielding asks, will the WrestleMania main event feature the retiring or the potential retiring Undertaker?
If he's announced as retiring beforehand, yes. If he's not, no.
Yeah, agreed.
Do we think he mentioned something about that on SmackDown tomorrow night?
Maybe.
Probably a bit early, but maybe, yeah.
It's 900th episode. It's landmark.
If he announces he's got one last run left in him, then he could do Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
What, the match itself, or
Work Royal Rumble to WrestleMania. That'd be.
He wants one last shot at the championship before he retires.
Yep.
And you got a huge story going into Royal Rumble, and they need to fill the Alamo Dome.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. The Michaels effect might have something to do with that if it works out.
Yeah. Who else is booked in for SmackDown? Actually, we should be doing that on the SmackDown pre-show podcast.
We will listen to Kenny, who will hopefully be back tomorrow to talk SmackDown. I'm going to ask one last question. I think we've roughly talked about it, but Mark Cheeseman asks, do we want the Shane versus Lesnar seats to be planted at Survivor Series, or do we drag that out if it happens?
It is dragging. If they plant it at Survivor Series and it ends at Rumble, yes. I just don't want to see it at WrestleMania, for goodness sake.
They are planting it tonight. That's what I think.
Tonight.
Yeah, it makes the most sense.
With the potential demolition.
Yeah, knowing what we know about the show tonight, that makes the most sense.
I think so.
It could happen. I, for one, I don't think I'm going to stay up and watch it live tonight.
We are.
I know you are. So have lots of fun. I'm going to record it and watch it after work tomorrow, I think. As always, you can follow me on Twitter at the Joe Simkins.
At Adam the Blampied.
At Adam Pacitti. And follow the new WhatCulture Pro Wrestling Instagram account, the official account, none of these fraudulent troll accounts.
You literally stole the words out of my mouth.
WCPW. Official WCPW.
Also, we should push the loot crates, right?
We should plug. You can get slam crates from whatculture.com/slam crate, full of exclusive WWE merchandise.
Get them with a little bit of a discount
They
if you use the
code WhatCulture.
They are the pinned tweet on WhatCulture's WWE.
Have a look at the
Twitter page. So
it's all on there.
Have yourselves a look at WhatCulture WWE. All of the products make us money. I'm Joe from WhatCulture.com. You'll see these two tonight, and you'll see me soon. Bye.
WhatCulture Extra.